Raider Nation, we're going to be doing a special live show February 20th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you set a reminder on your calendars for this Sunday. The reason, well, it's my birthday, and I want to be able to go ahead and spend it with y'all. So if you want to join the show, we're going to be breaking down news and rumors. We're going to have a few drinks. We're going to have a good time. So subscribe and turn on those notifications because I don't want you to miss it. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and we're going to get into some news, some rumors. We're going to talk about Dante Fowler, the latest going on with the whole Derek Carr contract extension. I'm also going to bring up the latest going on around Jalen Richard, but before I do, today's show is powered by the Fetch Rewards app. This is a free app that you can download where you can take those old receipts and then go ahead and turn them into gift cards. It's free to download. All you got to do, look at the link down there below. It's chatsports.com/fetch. Promo code Raiders. It's going to get you 3,000 bonus points, which means for every 1,000 points equals $1. So 3,000 bonus points, $3 gift card. There you go. You're welcome. So coming up here on today's show, Jalen Richard, is he about to get released? We'll talk about that. Dante Fowler to the Raiders, we'll break all that down. And then the latest going on around our quarterback, Derek Carr. The way that I'm starting the show off is with Richard, and one of my really good buddies in Las Vegas is like best friends with Jalen. And Jalen still obviously wants to be a member of this team. However, since the Raiders had to push back a few contracts, and a lot of the times what you see is they put void years on those deals. Well, on February 17th, basically is like the final day for Richard on his contract. So essentially, Jalen's going to become a free agent tomorrow. This is going to leave $1.06 million in dead cap hit this offseason. And the fact that he's going to be a free agent, technically, the Raiders can still bring him back. But it means that he had, and I'm going to use the word fake years here, fake years left on his deal. Sometimes teams do this because they want to try to fit underneath the cap spot. Remember last offseason, all those rumors around the Raiders making sure that they were under the 2021's cap. They made sure they did it, but they had to push contracts back like Jalen, like Carl Nassib, like Corey Littleton. So that's what you're going to see. So when it happens tomorrow that Jalen Richard got released by the Raiders, I don't want you to be surprised. So here's my question. Once Jalen becomes a free agent, once he is ultimately released by the Raiders, should the Raiders try to bring him back? I want you to go ahead and type that Y for yes, or I want you to go on down in the comments section and type N for no. I like Jalen. He's done a lot of good things for this organization. However, I am going to let him walk. For the simple fact of you have Josh Jacobs, you have Kenyon Drake. I get it. Drake's going to be dealing with that injury. But there's a lot of other solid running backs out there. Maybe even some other pass-catching running backs that the Raiders could look at. Jacobs, you got 1 year left in his deal. Kenyon Drake, 1 year left on his deal. I believe that Josh McDaniels is going to try to run both of these guys into the ground. And then, who knows? Maybe you decide to bring one of them back. I would be shocked if that's the route they go. The other reason why I'm going to let Richard go, this past season he made over $3 million. There's a cheaper option who, sure, he's been battling some injuries, but this team needs a pass-catching running back, somebody that they can rely on in the 2-minute drill. That's what they did with Richard. The better option, it's James White. He's a free agent running back. He's one of the NFL's best pass-catching backs in the league, and I get it. He played only 3 games this past season due to a hip, but White knows the McDaniels system. He knows what this offense needs to do, and a new team, new scheme, you're going to be having a lot of new pieces come in. This is going to be important. Back in 2020, this guy had 49 grabs, 375 yards, and a touchdown. 2019, 2018, you're not going to get over 70 catches. The only way that happens is if something really bad happens to Hunter Renfrow, if I'm being honest. But if you could tell me right now, I'd go out and get James White, $2 million deal, 1 year type of contract, a prove-it style, and he can go out and get me 30, 35 grabs. Yeah, that's absolutely worth it, which is why I think that's the route that they should go. So here do you think? You basically got Jalen Richard, you let him go. James White, is this a pass-catching running back that you want the Raiders to go out and pursue in free agency? I want you to spam that S for sign, or if you think, they should pass it, I want you to go ahead and pass. Here's one thing that none of y'all should pass on. Downloading the Fetch Rewards app. It's one of my favorite apps out there. Use code Raiders, and the awesome video that you see to the right of me is how easy it is to literally just get a receipt, pick it up, you click on the Fetch Rewards app, You download it, and then you just scan the receipt, take a picture of it, bada bing, bada boom, you get some brand new points. So it's literally an app where you can earn points on any receipt from any store or any restaurant, and also depending on like where you buy stuff, so you can actually go into the app and see their preferred brands. Like if you buy Lay's, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, those products are going to get you more points. At the end of the day, 2020 taught me to be smarter with my money, and if I'm going to go out and buy things already, you might as well take that extra 3 seconds, scan it, and then you're good to go. You can also even hook this thing up with your Amazon account and your email. That way, if you go ahead and buy something online, it just throws it right on the app already. It's chatsports.com/fetch. Promo code Raiders. It's going to be available in the comments and in the description. Could the Las Vegas Raiders go out and sign now free agent Dante Fowler, who was released by the Atlanta Falcons earlier this week? There's been a lot of news and rumors circulating around Las Vegas around this topic because he is free to sign with any team. He was the former 3rd overall pick in the 2015 draft of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did not play, though, as a rookie, had some injuries, and he's been a little bit of an up and down character. The reason why I am bringing him up here is because I've been getting asked a ton. Mitch, are the Raiders interested, and are they at least going to have a chance to go out and get Fowler? I'm going to go ahead and give this one 3 no Chucky heads. It means that there's a 75% chance that the Raiders are going to show heavy interest in Fowler. I actually had a source tell me the Raiders do have interest. Why? He could be a cheap fit in a new 3-4 system that's going to be ran by Patrick Graham. Sure, the Raiders do plan on running a whole bunch of different sets, but their main base set is going to be 3-4. I also heard this, that Yannick Ngakoue himself has really been trying to convince him to come to Vegas. And their short time together, Ngakoue and Fowler on the Jacksonville Jaguars a few years back. Remember, Ngakoue, he was drafted in 2016, 2nd round out of Maryland. Fowler was already there, and it was essentially his rookie year. And people who I've talked to said that those two guys got really, really close together. So Ngakoue is really trying to convince him, hey, man, come on over to Las Vegas. In terms of some of his numbers from last season, he had 36 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries. The reason why he got released, or why it was put out there earlier than everyone else, is similar to what that thing I just mentioned with Jalen Richard. They put fake years on his contract, void years, and then they ended up getting pushed back. In terms of Dante Fowler, the one thing that he's always been able to show, if you put him on a good football team and put him in the right system, he's shown that he can be really athletic and he can be a good contributor. In 2017, 8 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. In 2019, this is probably his best year, and he was with the Rams. Sure, they had a lot of talent around him, and I get it. Corey Littleton has not been the best fit either, but Littleton and Fowler, they still stay in contact as well from what I've been told, and Littleton could also try to convince Fowler to come on over. But in 2019, 12 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, 16 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. If you put Fowler in the right system and talent around him, and as far as I'm concerned, I consider Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue pretty damn good. So it's your turn now to sound off in the comments, and shout out to my fans that watch in Germany. Shout out to Raider Nation in Germany. You guys will appreciate this weigh-in. J for ja or 9 for 9. It's German for yes, and it's German for no. For those of you that don't know, I lived in Germany for a year, and yes, I do speak ein bisschen Deutsch. So should the Raiders go out and sign Dante Fowler, that means a little bit of German, type J for ja or 9 for 9. I'm going to go ahead and say, ja, ich möchte es we go out and get Dante Fowler. Why? Because if you can go out and go ahead and get him on a deal less than $3 million, he's been able to show that he would be absolutely worth it, and it would be a good fit in our defense. If you guys haven't already, hit me up on IG. Please go ahead and do so. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. I do my best to keep you guys up to date on the news and rumors going on around Las Vegas because I can't always get as much studio time as I want, so I've been making a larger point to make sure that I keep you guys up to date even when I'm not at work. So please, don't be afraid. Hit me up on IG. One of the things that we've been talking about is Derek Carr this, Derek Carr that. One of my other jobs here on the Raiders Report host is to find articles, and I found one from ESPN linking Derek Carr to a trade. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. There is a 1 no Chucky head chance of Derek Carr getting traded, and I get it. Technically, you can't say anything's impossible. Y'all got mad at me back in 2018 when I said, hey, everything I'm hearing is Khalil Mack could get traded. None of y'all believe me. It ended up happening. ESPN released an article about some quarterbacks that they thought deserved to be in the trade discussion, which I get it. He deserves to be in the trade discussion, but I'm sitting up here telling you right now there is a 1% chance that he gets traded, and the only way that he gets dealt is if he asks for way too much money, or if he's asking for too much of a contract extension, or if a quarterback like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers like, hey guys, I want to come play in Las Vegas. I'm taking a cheap deal. What do I got to do to make it happen? I really, truly believe that Josh McDaniels wants Derek Carr to be the Raiders quarterback, which then brings me to my next point. Is Las Vegas going to go ahead and extend DC? This one's going to be 3-no Chucky heads. I'm going to say that there's a 90% chance that Derek Carr gets a contract extension. And everyone I've talked to, sources that I trust, also agree with that. ESPN, they went ahead and they wrote an article similar to what we just talked about with the trades of them projecting a contract. They have Derek Carr around $40 million a year, and I get it. Spotrac, a lot of people are like, oh, Spotrac this, Spotrac this. Spotrac also has Max Crosby at $13 to $15 million, which means they don't even think he's a top 25 edge rusher. I understand the idea behind that. However, my job here is this. I know a lot of people write content out there, whether it's beat reporters, this or that. There is nobody, and I mean this, I don't think there's anybody out there that puts as much time and effort as my team as I do into Raiders knowledge, which is why I'm confident to say that I don't think anybody knows the Raiders from a giving analysis standpoint more than what we do here. So I do believe that he's going to get a contract extension, and I think it's going to be a short-term deal. I know some of the numbers that I've brought up in the past are 3 years, 93.9 would be his new deal, and I'll get into what I believe his new contract could end up looking like from ESPN, but here's what they had to say on a Carr extension. McDaniels wasn't going to hop back into head coaching in a spot where he couldn't win right away. With all that went wrong in Denver and then him flaking out on the Colts a couple years ago, I don't see how McDaniels' head coaching career could weather a rebuild. I'm betting that the Raiders keep Derek Carr unless they can get Rodgers, Wilson, or Watson, or Tom Brady. Now, that one's from Dan Graziano from ESPN, and I agree. Unless one of those guys comes on in, I see Derek Carr being the quarterback. Now, here's how his new contract would look like via the report. ESPN projected the 2 years, $80 million extension, which means Carr, with his new contract, remember, he's scheduled to make $19.9 million this year. So the 2 years at $80 million plus his 1 year at $19.9, that equals 3 years, $99.9 million, 33.3 average over the next 3 seasons, and then it's going to be a guaranteed of $65 million for Derek Carr. So here's your opportunity to be honest. And for whatever reason, I feel like Raider fans are never afraid to speak their mind. But there's just all these, and I'm going to call them bullies on Twitter, that get mad at people, Carr stands, and I love Derek Carr. He's my quarterback, and I respect him. But for whatever reason, Raider fans are afraid to speak their true mind when it comes to DC because they're afraid that they're going to get feedback. People only give feedback if either A, they're jealous, or B, that they're not intelligent enough to actually come up with an explanation on themselves. So would you give this extension to Carr? Would you give him 2 years, $40 million, type E for extension, or type D for decline? I'm going to continue to type my D for decline because it's just too much money for DC. I am not going to sit up here and say that I'm going to pay a quarterback that I don't view as a top 10 guy, that I don't view as somebody who's won any playoff games in 8 years. Has Derek dealt with a lot of stuff? Yes, and if you watch the show enough, you'll know that I think that he's dealt with probably more BS than any quarterback has ever dealt with in an 8-year span. However, I do not reward people for the idea of something that could happen. That's just bad business, and sooner or later, you got to be able to make a decision as an organization. Either A, you stick with this guy, or B, you move on. Here's something that I tweeted out on Twitter. That's obviously where you tweet. At Mitchell Renz 365. Remember, you guys can always follow me. I'm more than happy to interact with y'all on there. But I've been getting a lot of flack for this because this is the other reason why I wouldn't extend DC. I think everyone on here thinks that Derek's a good guy. I absolutely do. And I've always said on the show that I think he's a man of his word. But Derek Carr also said money isn't the thing that drives him. Derek Carr also said he doesn't want to play anywhere else besides the Raiders. He also said that if he was traded, he would retire. And all he's ever said, that all that matters here is winning. And if that's the case, then he shouldn't take a contract extension. You play at 19.9. You play on a very team-friendly type of deal. Personally, I don't think how good Carr is worth $35 million a year. I don't. But I do think this. If what he cares about is winning, then taking a contract extension only helps him. It doesn't help the Raiders. So then also on top of that, people are like, oh, well, who do you think's better than Derek Carr? Who's a better quarterback than Derek Carr? So I'm a man of my word, and I'm not really afraid to tell you guys the truth because that's my job to do. Here are the quarterbacks that I believe right now are better than Derek Carr. You're not going to see Tom Brady on this list because he has officially retired. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I will take Matthew Stafford now. I know at the beginning of the season I said I'll still take DC. Stafford to me, put him around a good team, and he won a Super Bowl. So for that, yeah. Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson. I know Watson didn't play last year, but let's be real, it's really not even all that close. Russell Wilson, yes, I will take Dak Prescott over Carr, though it is a little bit closer than what people believe. Justin Herbert, I get it. Carr beat Herbert. Carr beat Lamar Jackson. But Lamar also lost his entire offensive line, a lot of running backs, and he had dealt with a lot of other issues as well. Kyler Murray, I will also take him because of his age and his upside. Those are the quarterbacks right now that I believe are better than Derek Carr. If you want to yell at me, remember, IG, Twitter, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared. But here's your opportunity because I also don't think this. If you're going to sit up here and you're going to judge me and you're going to be like, oh, you're an idiot, you're this and you're that because of my take on Derek Carr, and there's going to be a lot of people that agree with me. It's the way that Raider Nation is. For whatever reason, they're very split between DC. But I want to know, because if you're going to yell at me, here's your opportunity. Where would you rank Derek Carr? Is he the best quarterback? Type 1. If he's number 32, you type 32. If you believe that he's the 12th or 13th best quarterback like I do, then you would go ahead and type 12 or 13. I am going to take some of these answers, and I'm going to put them on a future Raiders Report social. Please, if you want to see yourself, go ahead, let me know. Where would you rank Derek Carr? And before I go, and I was getting ready to wrap up there, Marshall's like, you done? No, I'm not done. I'll see you guys on Sunday for my birthday. Remember, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, a special live Raiders Report show. If you're over 21, go get some drinks. Go make sure you got some beer, some liquor, because we're going to be getting wild. We're going to be having some fun. So please subscribe, turn on those notifications. I hope you join me.